Good morning, everyone. We are going to give a few minutes for people to start entering today's webinar. We're so excited to have you with us this morning. So if you'll just be patient for a few minutes and we'll get started. Okay, everyone's coming in. Good morning, good morning. You're in the right place if you're here for our conference preview webinar, the American Indigenous Tourism Conference. We're going to take just a minute or two and let more people come in for today's webinar. But while you're waiting, if you could, we'd like to know where you're all from. So why don't you go ahead and put that in the chat and tell us who's here and where you're from. Wow, all the way from Fairbanks, Alaska. Southern California, Arizona, Kentucky, New Mexico. Well, welcome everybody. I think we'll go ahead and get started this morning. So I just want to say good morning to everybody. Thanks for joining us today for AIANTA's webinar series. I'm going to be your moderator this morning. My name is Sherry Rupert, and I'm the CEO for the American Indian Alaska Native Tourism Association. This presentation today will be a preview of our 26th annual American Indigenous Tourism Conference. And so thank you for letting us know where you're coming in from today. We'd also like to know, Sierra, if you could put up that poll, the first poll that we have this morning. And we wanted to find out, have you attended the AITC before? Yes or not yet? So if you could please vote one way or the other. And then if you could show us the results, Sarah. Wow, it's a dead heat. It's about 50-50. Well, let's see what we can do to get those that have already attended excited about this year's conference, and those of you that have not attended, get you inspired to get registered for the conference and have just a really, really great time at the conference. So as I mentioned, this presentation is going to cover a preview of the upcoming American Indigenous Tourism Conference. And we have a lineup of our AIANTA staff, our local host, Megan and Gio, and from the Tunica Biloxi tribe, our AIANTA board representative, Charlene Virgilio, and longtime AIANTA member, Joe McDaniels. And they'll be sharing some insights that they've had by attending the AITC. Wanted to share a little bit about the American Indian and Alaska Native Tourism Association. We've been around for more than 25 years, and we've served as the only national organization dedicated to advancing cultural heritage tourism in Native nations and communities across the United States. We were established by tribes, for tribes, to address inequities in the tourism system. And we are a national nonprofit governed by an all-Native board of directors. And we serve as a united voice for the $15.7 billion Native hospitality sector. Our mission is to define, introduce, grow, and sustain American Indian, Alaska Native, and Native Hawaiian tourism that honors traditions and values while helping our American Indian, Alaska Native, and Native Hawaiian businesses become market and export ready for domestic and international markets. Tribes who are looking to start or expand their cultural tourism footprint can find resources at AIANTA.org, and visitors interested in learning more about Native culture can visit nativeamerica.travel. Okay. So this year's AITC will take place in Marksville, Louisiana, with our hosts, the Tunica Biloxi tribe of Louisiana, at their Paragon Casino Resort. Our theme this year is cultural tourism, changing the narrative. The theme of our conference this year underscores the transformative journey of Native nations and communities in reshaping the narrative that has long been shaped by external forces. The narrative, once crafted and disseminated by others, is now being reclaimed and redefined by Indigenous voices themselves. It is a pivotal moment for Indigenous peoples as we assert our agency, share our stories authentically, and showcase our rich cultural heritage. In essence, it marks a resounding call for recognition, respect, and empowerment, a testament to the resilience and vitality of our Indigenous communities. So we're very excited to share a snippet of what you can expect at this year's conference. So let's get started with our first guest today and our tribal host for this year's conference, Miss Megan Gio, and she is the Chief of Staff for the Tunica Biloxi tribe. Welcome, Megan.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Like Ms. Sherry said, my name is Megan Gio, and I'm the Chief of Staff for the Tunica Biloxi tribe. And we are proud to be this year's host tribe. And we just want to welcome everyone that's going to be here in Marksville in October. We're representing Marksville, Louisiana, and Avoyelles Parish. So I'm here this morning to let you know about our exciting mobile workshops that we have planned for all of those who pre-registered. We have two wonderful mobile workshops planned for you all. The first one is the Spring Bayou Sightseeing Tour. At 9 a.m., that group's going to depart from the Casino Resort Hotel entrance and make their way to the Spring Bayou boat launch. Discover the natural wonders of Central Louisiana with Tunica Biloxi tribal citizens on our Spring Bayou boat and sightseeing tour. Cruise through the Spring Bayou Wildlife Management Area, renowned for its beauty and abundant wildlife. You're going to encounter alligators, diverse bird species, fish, turtles, and more as you immerse yourself in our unique Louisiana ecosystem while embracing the rich heritage of Cajun culture. So this is a really awesome and interesting tour right here. Next slide, please. The mobile workshop number 2 is our Tunica Biloxi Museum and Ancient Mounds tour. The group will also depart at the same time from the Casino Resort Hotel entrance at 9 a.m. And we're going to welcome you at our beautiful Cultural and Resources Center on our reservation. We're going to do a tour of our Tunica Treasure exhibit. So discover a vast collection of Native American European trade items and artifacts deposited as grave goods by the Tunica between 1731 and 1764. Our tour begins at our CERC building, where you'll explore a museum exhibit hall, a state-of-the-art conservation and restoration laboratory, our beautiful library, and a gift shop. And you'll learn about the interesting story of how the Tunica Biloxi gained their federal recognition. It's an extremely interesting story, and you'll learn that as you walk through this museum. From there, we're gonna depart from the reservation and we're going to go to the Tunica Biloxi Prehistoric Park and Indian Mound site. We renamed this site to Hali Hera, which means sacred land in the Tunica language. Venture with us to the prehistoric park, an ancient mound site, a significant archaeological site dating back over 2,000 years. This 42-acre site, adorned with numerous burials, holds deep cultural significance as it reflects the ancestral home of the Tunica people, cherished and honored by tribal citizens for generations. You also learn about how we got this piece of land back through a land swap that we did with the city of Marksville last year. So this is also going to be a very interesting tour. Next slide, please. Both groups will come together around 11:45 and make their way back to the reservation for a luncheon. This is going to be hosted on our powwow grounds. We're going to have a delightful luncheon where you're going to experience the essence of Louisiana tradition as we indulge in Cajun country's finest culinary delights, including the renowned couchon de lait, which is Cajun French for pig roast, and a savory shrimp boil. As you savor these classic Southern favorites, immerse yourself in the vibrant atmosphere of our community. We're going to be in a really beautiful area on our reservation, and immediately following the the luncheon, we're going to have a stickball exhibition. We have the Alabama Coshada tribe who's going to be helping us with that exhibition. Native American stickball is one of the oldest team sports in North America. Native American, it holds deep cultural significance for Southeastern Indian tribes, including the Tunica Biloxi. Beyond just a game, stickball fosters physical fitness and spiritual connection across all age groups. The clinic will provide an opportunity to learn basic skills, understand the rules, and prioritize safety in the game. Join us for an afternoon of camaraderie, cultural exchange, and celebration. After that, we'll go inside to our Tunica Biloxi gymnasium, and we're going to have a basketry demonstration where a lot of our friends from some local tribes will help us as we demonstrate the techniques and elements of traditional basket weaving. We're going to be discussing the craft, and we're going to have a hands-on beginners class to long leaf pine needle weaving. That'll be taught during that workshop. That's going to conclude our 2 workshops. So they start off with 2 separate groups and they come together for the luncheon and the activities. I also added on here that we do have a beautiful nature walk that goes from the reservation to the casino next door. So if anybody wants to take that nature walk back to the casino versus riding the shuttle bus, it's a beautiful trail that we have. And I just invite everyone to take advantage of that while they're here. The last thing that I just wanted to go over is our reception, our welcome reception that we're hosting Monday night. This is going to be a really awesome event for anyone who's coming in who might maybe miss the mobile workshops, but they're going to be here that evening. It's going to be in our hotel atrium. It's themed a tour of Louisiana. We're going to have music and cultural presentations from our 5 Louisiana tribes who are part of the Intertribal Council Consortium that includes Coshada, Chitimacha, United Homa Nation, Tunica Biloxi, and Gina Band of Choctaw. So we'll be doing some presentations. We're going to have different foods that represent the different areas of Louisiana that you'll all be able to taste, and a bunch of different Louisiana desserts as well. And we're going to have an alligator show, a live alligator show at this event. So we're super excited for that event as well. And that wraps up my presentation. And I just want to say, Tikach, thank you to AIANTA for allowing me to present everyone today on behalf of Tunica Biloxi. And we look forward to seeing you guys at the end of October.
Thank you, Megan. We appreciate that. We're really excited for the mobile workshops. I think that the mobile workshops really set the tone for the whole conference. It allows, people to meet others that are coming in from different parts of the country. And this year we have couple of delegations from Canada and New Zealand joining us this year. So it's a great way to showcase the local culture, but it's also a great way to experience the local culture. So we just want to thank you, Megan, and your local host committee there for putting together these two great mobile workshops.
Thank you. Well, Louisiana is so diverse, and we tried to pack as much as we could into this one day. So we're really excited. Thank you all, and have a wonderful rest of your week.
Thank you, and you take care. Okay. So I wanted to share a little bit with you about some of the keynote speakers that have confirmed for this year's conference. They're very impressive line of keynote speakers. And first off that you see here is Mr. Keith Henry. He's the president and CEO of the Indigenous Tourism Association of Canada, along with Panya Tyson Nathan, who is the CEO for New Zealand Maori Tourism. And I'm going to be on a panel with my two colleagues from Canada and New Zealand. And we're going to be talking about the Destination Original Indigenous Tourism, a global collective of Indigenous voices around the world that are coming together to um, put some standards behind our tourism products in our respective countries. We want to ensure that when people are visiting our countries, that they're getting an authentic experience from an Indigenous owned business. And so you'll hear much more about that on our Destination Original Indigenous Tourism panel. Mr. Alex Lazary is the Deputy Assistant Secretary for Tourism at the International Trade Administration. And so he's very important to us. He runs the National Travel and Tourism Office there at the Department of Commerce. And so he's going to be talking to us about some of the strides that they're making there at the National Travel and Tourism Office and how that affects or impacts the Indigenous tourism industry. Mr. Eric Stegman is the CEO for Native Americans in Philanthropy, and he's going to give us some tips on how to convey to the philanthropic world the need to support Indigenous storytelling and education. Catherine Prather is the CEO for the National Tour Association, and Lisa Simon is the CEO for the International Inbound Travel Association. And they are some of our newest partners at AIANTA. And again, we'll be on a panel talking about our partnerships and how memberships in their organization can benefit their businesses. And so that'll be an exciting conversation as well with our partners. And then lastly, we have Laura Ann Chisson, and she is the Principal Chief of the United Homa Nation, and she is going to be our Heart Speak speaker. And Laura Ann, if you don't know her, I mean, most everybody knows Laura Ann. She's an amazing person. She's an amazing speaker, and she is going to speak from the heart to our attendees this year, sorry. And then I'm going to turn this over to Sierra to talk about some of the breakout sessions that we'll have at this year's AITC.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Sherry. And thank you, Megan, for those highlights of what we can expect at the conference. Additionally, we have 24 breakout sessions scheduled for everybody to enjoy, and these are available for everybody, whether you're just a startup company or whether you've been in the industry for decades. We have something for everybody. So of course, most people are interested in funding opportunities. So we do have some sessions regarding funding opportunities with some of the federal grants that are coming out, insights into how to apply for those, and other funding sources that are on the horizon. Additionally, business development is something that all of our attendees can continue to strive for. So there will be some sessions for you to tune into and to take notes. And some of you who know me know that I'm an educator, so I always say to take back and do your homework and apply what you learn here at the conference. So those business development sessions will be valuable in that aspect. Additionally, cultural tourism, although cultural tourism is something that's embedded and comes from our historic and ancestral ties to our homelands and our cultural lifeways, there's always new and innovative ways into how we bring our visitors into those folds as guests. And so cultural tourism, there's a lot of advances going on, and we'll have some sessions that can maybe inspire you in new ways to address the guests that are coming to your homelands. Federal partnerships are really important for AIANTA, but also we want to convey the message to you on how that might be relevant to your specific entity, whether it's a gift shop, whether you are a tour offering something near or within a national parks, dark skies, Bureau of Land Management. There's so many different opportunities that we can begin to seek out with our federal partners. So we'll have some sessions on that. Exciting this year, we'll have a couple of sessions actually on AI and technology and how you can advance what you already are doing, but also think about new ways to advance your business and your company. And then the last two, marketing and the global marketplace. So those folks who are looking to advance their exposure within the marketplace, either domestically, but also globally, we have sessions just for you. So be sure to check those out. I will pop in the link here, our schedule at a glance on our website, and you can go through and check out some of the sessions that we have outlined for AITC. Next slide. Additionally, this year is something new that we wanted to work on for all of you and our great partners. Sometimes they're so busy at the conference, they don't have time to have an exhibit booth the whole time. So we wanted to create a featured booth so our partners could have some time with you and you would have access to them in a more formal setting than just maybe catching them at lunch, but a less formal setting than a full-blown session. So here we have an outline of some of our prospects for the featured booth. On October 29th, Ariel will be in the featured booth helping folks get set up on the silent auction app, and she'll talk about that here in a bit. And then Tourism Exchange and Brand USA can share the booth and talk about some of those global marketplace opportunities. On October 30th, we have Coraggio, which will be an exciting breakout that we have during one of our general sessions at AIANTA or at AITC. So that's something that'll be really exciting. I don't know how much we've released on that yet, so I'm not going to divulge too much about that session. But we also have the Inbound Travel Association and the National Tour Association who will take part in that. Again, sharing some of the global marketplace opportunities and the exciting news of our membership that we have for both of those associations. So keep an eye out for those announcements, but also you can catch them at the featured booth on October 30th. And October 31st, Native America.travel. If you are listed, that's great. Stop by the booth and double check your listing, work with our team to see what you may want to update. And if you haven't yet been listed on Native America.travel, this is a great opportunity for you to go in and see what it would take for you to get your company listed. And Native America.travel is our consumer-facing platform that we utilize at travel trade shows to promote your destination, and it's free. So don't miss that opportunity to visit with our team there, including learning about We Travel, and that's a booking platform that is now available on Native America.travel for you to utilize. Lastly, we'll have our team that's launching the AIANTA guide. And so that is super exciting. You can see the place name map screenshot there on the bottom right of this screen. And I'm super excited to see this. I haven't even seen a single page or a preview, but every time we talk about it, people say how beautiful the guide is. And so I'm excited to see that and have that in your hands. And maybe you'll have some of the authors there able to sign your copy. So be sure to check us out at the featured booth. We'll continue to put promotions out through the app and through some of the emails coming forward to the conference. Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you, Sierra. We appreciate that. Highlighting some of the breakout topics that we're going to have. And then, of course, our featured booth this year, which is new. So be sure you check that out. I believe that's going to be in the area where the exhibits are. So we're going to move on to this next section about the business of art. So I'm going to invite Gail Chihak of our team. She is our Community and Partner Relations Director. Gail.
Thank you, Sherry. Well, I'm excited to present the business of art. We have been holding business of art workshops for the last 5 years, and they've become a favorite of many of our attendees. We started it as a way to help encourage arts programs, tribes to working with arts to help their local artists. So we say the business of art is the practice of managing and promoting Indigenous art in ways that preserve cultural heritage while creating economic opportunities. Of course, we know arts are integral to tribal tourism, and the seminar encourages tribes and organizations to share their program successes and to help artists maintain cultural authenticity while developing business skills. Collaboration with communities and leveraging art's role in tourism are a key to supporting both individual livelihoods and community well-being. Next slide. Indigenous art and community tourism. We're looking for collaboration with tribes and their communities to build arts programs that reflect community values. We have some great presenters lined up for this year. The we have, sorry, just missed my note here. We have Akwesasne Travel, who will talk about their tour program and how they've incorporated artists into that tour, and how they've also developed an annual art market that's become a favorite in their region. Pyramid Lake Paiute tribe, their museum will talk about how they work with the artists and also how they work with outfitters for the fishermen that are interested in fishing their Pyramid Lake. We also have the Smithsonian Folklife Festival, who often does work with Indigenous communities internationally to help bring their tourism to the annual Folklife Festival. And they also bring Native American artists, performers, storytellers to an amazing event that has cooking, has a little bit of everything. It's just an amazing event. They'll be sharing what it takes to put that together. We also have a fashion designer who will be talking about fashion, which is a growing trend in Indian country. Our programs supported by the National Endowment for the Arts. We also have traditional arts demonstrators that'll be performing every day, and we'll have a schedule of those that you can, so you don't have to miss anyone. And we also have a photographer that will be available to take photographs of any Native artist and their work. And that means attendees too. So if you're an artist, bring a couple of pieces of your work and get a professional photograph taken of yourself and your work. Just need to call and schedule an appointment. Thank you.
Thanks, Gail. Sorry, trying to find my buttons here. Appreciate that. Okay, well, we are gonna move on and have Ariel talk a bit about the silent auction coming up. And
Sherry,
that's going to, yes,
real quick, you did skip over a slide there.
did I?
Yes.
Gail, did you have anything else to add?
This would be Sherry Bowman.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and take it.
Okay. Thanks, Sherry.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this webinar. I'd like to talk a little bit about the exhibitors or the exhibit and artisans. And if you're looking for a hands-on marketing approach, an exhibit booth at the AITC will provide you with direct access to over 300 tourism professionals. AITC exhibitors are located in a highly trafficked conference area, allowing them to connect directly with AITC attendees and share their marketing and promotional materials. Exhibiting at a conference can offer a variety of benefits for businesses, professionals, and organizations. Some key advantages are having direct access to target audiences, such as industry professionals, decision makers, potential customers, and allows you to directly engage with your target audience in person, facilitating meaningful connections. Your brand is also prominently displayed, increasing awareness and recognition of your company. Also, exhibiting at a conference allows you to network with industry peers, potential partners, and clients. Face-to-face interaction can lead to valuable business relationships and collaborations. By interacting with attendees, you can collect contact information and follow up with potential clients and customers after the event. In addition to generating leads, conferences can also provide direct sales and opportunities. Some attendees may make purchasing decisions on the spot, particularly if they are interested by what you offer. Overall, exhibiting at the conference can be a powerful tool for business growth, brand awareness, and industry engagement. And we do still have space available at the conference if you'd like to get an exhibit booth, and you can register for the booth on our website at aianta.org/AITC. I also want to encourage artisans to join us at the Native Art Market. Showcasing Native art at a conference offers unique benefits for both the artisan and the audience, contributing to cultural appreciation, economic development, and cross-cultural dialogue. By exhibiting Native art, artists help preserve and promote their cultural heritage. This is especially important in contemporary times when many Indigenous traditions still face the threat of extinction. Public exhibits ensure these traditions remain visible and valued. AITC provides Native artists with a platform to sell their artwork, providing them with income and supporting economic sustainability for their communities. Exposure to new audience can open doors for future sales, commissions, and partnerships. I'd like to invite all the artisans to join us at the Native Art Market, where you may showcase your work and also receive a complimentary admission to the Business of Art workshop that Gail was just talking about. That will include educational sessions on marketing and promotion for Native artists. We also have artist space still available, so if you're interested in obtaining a booth, please let us know. I will throw my email in the chat in case you have any questions. We do encourage all attendees at the conference to support Native Americans, but the artisans by making a purchase at the conference from jewelry, clothing, handbags, beadwork, and much more. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and I will throw my email in the chat in case you have any questions. And that's it for me, Sherry. Thank you.
Thanks, Sherry. Appreciate that information. I always enjoy going through the exhibitors and the artisans and doing actually my Christmas shopping during that time. So think about that as you're going through and visiting our exhibitors and artists. Okay, so we're going to move on to the silent auction, and I'm going to ask Ariel to jump on and to walk us through Ariel, the silent auction and the app that we'll be using this year.
Thank you, Sherry. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We're excited to provide you with details about this year's silent auction and how it supports a meaningful cause. This year's silent auction is a crucial part of our fundraising efforts for AIANTA's Tourism and Hospitality Silent Scholarship Program. The proceeds supports American Indian, Alaska Native, and Native Hawaiian students pursuing degrees or certificates in tourism or hospitality related fields. Your participation and bids will help fund scholarships for 5 deserving students each year, empowering them to achieve their educational goals. The scholarship recipients are provided with $1,000 per semester for fall and spring. So we deeply appreciate your support in making this scholarship possible and for helping us foster the next generation of leaders in tourism and hospitality. Next slide, please. So you don't want to miss out on this year's silent auction because we have an incredible lineup of items that are sure to excite you, from adventurous experiences, luxury spa treatments, engaging books, and fine art creations. The silent auction is going to start on October 28th. And here's how you can participate. So for registration, you're going to need to register to participate in the silent auction. You can register by texting 2024 AITC, no spaces, to the number 44834. Here you'll receive a separate text message telling you to join here, and then you can go ahead and register. Or you can scan the QR code that's provided on the screen and register there as well. This is going to be a cashless event, so all transactions are handled electronically, and you will need to enter your credit card information in your account on the platform. So as far as accessing the silent auction, this is going to be a virtual event. You can start bidding on your items October 28th, and to find the auction, you're going to locate on the navigation toolbar the auction. So you can see that's circled and highlighted on the page. So that'll bring you to all the auction items. You're able to browse through the list of items and click on the ones you're interested in. And from there, you can click place bid to bid on the item. To monitor your bids, you can go to my items in the search bar, and it shows you what you've bid on. And then when the silent auction closes, you can scroll through the list of auction items and find the winning trophy that's by the item. That means you've won that item. And you'll also receive a congratulations text message saying what items you've won. And then you can go to the shopping cart and check out to purchase your items. We'll also have a live auction at the Gala where you're able to place bids, and that will be announced by AIANTA's CEO, Sherry Rupert. And for item collections, what you're gonna wanna do is if you won something and it's at the auction, you can come up to us and you're able to take that home with you. But if the item is not at the event, then we will ship that item to you using the address provided in your registration. And yeah, so thank you all for your participation and supporting our cause. and we hope you enjoy the auction. Thank you.
Thank you, Ariel. The auction is really one of the things that I look forward to during our gala event. It's a fun way to participate, but at the same time, support our upcoming leaders in the Indigenous tourism industry. So thanks for explaining that for us, Ariel. And Ariel's going to be on site at the AITC to help get people registered there as well. But it always helps if you can get registered before even getting to the event. So thanks again, Ariel. And next, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Excellence in Tourism Industry Awards part of the gala. And so the gala will take place on Wednesday evening of the AITC, and it's a great opportunity to acknowledge and celebrate all of the hard work that you all are doing in our communities. And so we award in 4 different categories. The first one is the best cultural heritage experience. We have excellence in customer service, the industry professional, and the Indigenous destination of the year. And it's just a really exciting event. Ariel talked about the live auction part of it as well, and we have a really good time harassing all of you out in the audience as we raise funds for our students that are entering into the hospitality and tourism industries. So I really wanted to get to this section. We have a few previous attendees with us here today to share their experience attending the AITC and how their attendance impacted their communities. So I'd like to introduce Jo McDaniel. First, she is the Tourism Program Manager for the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. Jo, can you join us and talk a little bit about your experience at the AITC?
Yes, I'm not sure. Can you see me?
I cannot see you, Jo. I can
Okay,
hear you.
Is it on your, it's telling me it's on your end. I'm not sure. Let me push a button here, start video, share content, participants. Let's go to more, maybe.
There, now we can see you, Jo.
Yay! I apologize. I'm in a hotel room in Pennsylvania, far from home. My name is Jo McDaniel. I'm with the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma, and we were honored to get to host the AITC's, the AITC's 25th anniversary last year there in Durant, Oklahoma, and we had been kind of, I want to say, on a waiting list to get to host this phenomenal event. And there's not very many things, in our wheelhouse that we have to be on a waiting list for, because we're impatient and we're assertive, and that's the kind of tribe we are, all the while holding on to our cultural values. I want to take you back in time just a little bit. Sherry Bowman sent me this, and I'd forgotten that I'd even written it. So I'll take a few excerpts out of this. And I'll take you back to 2020, right after, the world stopped, if you will, with COVID, and how, everything kind of came to a standstill, including our work. And we report to our headquarters in an office setting normally. But, we were to work, at home and things like that, which made it difficult, because you were out of your norm. I've worked for the Choctaw Nation for 31 years now. So I've reported to an office my whole life, basically, I feel like. But I'll go back and I'll say that AIANTA, and this is a quote that Sherry sent to me that I stated back then. AIANTA is the epitome of how Native Americans are known for helping others, preserving and stepping up to the challenge. And that's exactly how I felt at that time, because from the very onset of COVID, AIANTA was the front lines of gathering and sharing information. It was pertinent to Indian country and to the world. Before our staff was sent home from the Choctaw Nation headquarters there in Oklahoma to continue working from home in March of 2020, AIANTA was already sending out questionnaires to our tribe. They were in front of this thing. They were seeing what changes we were experiencing. It was an abrupt pandemic. It happened literally overnight. So there were a lot of things that they were the first ones to send out surveys. They were the first ones. It's almost as if they had already experienced this before. And I guess for us in Native American country, we kind of have, in a sense, right? We've handled difficult situations, and some expected, a lot unexpected, and yet we persevered. And I want to say all that to say that AIANTA, they get us. They understand how we are. We're members of multiple different organizations, from Brand USA to ESTO to Destinations International, IPW. And it seems like all of those, they may give us like a tiny corner to speak about our Native American tourism and cultural and historical pieces, or maybe our small business economic development. But with AIANTA, we're front and center. And that, if you've not ever been, I guess, affiliated with an organization, specifically, when you attend this conference that's coming up, you don't know what family feels like until you've got with AIANTA, because they are there for you. They are very helpful. It's like, I feel like I'm just having a family reunion every time I go to an AITC conference. And I've been going to them, I want to guess 8, could have been 10 years, something like that. And that's this is one of the conferences, guys, if you have budget dollars that you're having to kind of, pick and choose which conference you'll attend, I strongly encourage you to attend AITC by AIANTA, because you will never take it off your books. You never will. You gain so much knowledge. Like I said, it's a family atmosphere. You learn from each other. And in addition to that, they offer so many things. And I'm not even going to pretend to list all the things that they offer, but one specifically that hits home to me is they gave us an opportunity. They partnered with George Washington University, which we all know is probably the #1 university offering anything in tourism. Tourism, to me, is still kind of a new product, if you will, that's out on the market. And part of it, the Native American, for the Choctaw Nation, we've kept a lot of our culture and things private. And we all know why, historically. But we're just now allowing our culture to get out there, our dress, our story, if you will. We just recently, 3 years ago, built a brand new cultural center. And until then, to draw people here, we were very protective of our culture and our history. But now we understand, and through AIANTA's help, we understand, hey, there is a market for that internationally and statewide. And I can attest to, I travel for a living, and I'm out promoting. I'm setting up booths at travel adventure shows, at some of these other places that I recently mentioned. And we're setting up booths, and we're promoting southeast part of Oklahoma, which is our reservation. And with that, we're very proud to be able to introduce to movie producers all kinds of things. There's one of our artists is big with, I think it's Fendu or whatever the gaming is now. And there's so many avenues, and our artists are bringing things to light. There's so many things that we now are opening up our doors to and welcoming people in. And at our trade show booths, whenever we're traveling across the United States and working even with international markets, one of the things that we're finding is we can go to, say, New York, and we can boast of all the great restaurants or foods and things like that we have in Southeast Oklahoma. And automatically you're like, how do you compete with New York City, And so we can go to, say, Colorado, and we can say we have this beautiful outdoor terrain. We have trees and waters and all these things. And they're like, well, we have mountains, So in doing all that, we find out that one thing that we have at our booth that we can speak to or have information on is our culture. People are hungry for our culture, those experiences, to learn the history, to learn the future even. There's so many things that we bring to the table, literally, no pun intended, at that booth that others can't bring. And that makes us very unique. It makes us marketable. It helps us to bring economic development to our area. It helps our artisans. It keeps our attractions alive and well. And so that I could just go on, and Sherry knows me. I can speak for days on this. Sherry, you'll just have to give me the signal or something when I'm getting close to my 10 minutes. But I just strongly encourage you to come and come that extra day and go to the mobile workshops. You will be the one that wins at the end.
Great.
Enough, Sherry?
Yeah, thank you so much, Joe. We appreciate you.
Two
We
more
appreciate
pages.
your time.
You're very welcome. Thank
Yeah,
you
you're
all.
one of our best advocates, and we
I
so
love it.
appreciate that. And I love seeing you and your team on the road.
Thank you.
All right. Well, let's turn to another previous attendee, and we reeled her in and got her on our board of directors, Miss Charlene Virgilio, the business development director of Four Directions. Charlene.
Thanks, Sherry, and thank you for all this information because it brings me back to how we began our cultural tourism strategy. I'm a member of the Penobscot Nation, hailing from Wabanaki Territory, which is now known as the state of Maine. And 5 years ago, we started this journey with data. And we did a survey and found out that there was interest amongst the 5 tribes in Maine to work together in different economic development areas, and one of those was tourism. So at an economic development meeting with the state of Maine, I mentioned what we were interested in doing, and the state of Maine said, wow, we need to send you to this conference, and we want you to come back and report out what you learned. And that conference was AIANTA. So I was so proud to be able to go and represent our tribes and participate, and it just started our journey. So I have to say it's so inspirational to hear where everyone else is, but we are at the very beginning. And so as soon as I got back from that journey, I wrote a debrief paper, 10 pages of everything I learned, and outlined 10 recommendations that I thought we should take. And we are still executing on those recommendations. Without AIANTA giving us the insight, the data, what was important, what was critical to developing tourism, we wouldn't have been on this journey. And we got our support, initial support from the state of Maine for funding to start this work. And then we followed up with grants. But to date, we've probably spent more than $1 million on developing our initiative. So we are at the start of our journey. And what we focused on was creating a strategy. And that strategy, I'm so proud to say, we are unveiling this week. I am at Sugarloaf Mountain, which is a beautiful setting in the Bigelows where my tribe owns quite a bit of property, where we are going to be unveiling this strategy with all of our partners. So I just want to tell you a little bit about why what I learned at AIANTA was so important and what I think is a good roadmap. But basically, we started with data, and you need community engagement. And so we had 5 leaders from each of our communities, 85 stakeholders who were working with us, and we did surveys with over 200 people from our communities to learn what they wanted. From that, we learned what their interests were, their needs, what their concerns were, and that's what we're executing on. And we've wrapped that up into the strategy that we are unveiling. We have a 5-year strategic blueprint on what we want to do. And the whole genesis of this was to build a robust tourism industry for our tribes by 2030. So we are 5 years into our journey, 6 years to go. And there was quite a bit of work. We inventoried all the assets we had. What don't we have? What do we need? What kind of small business development, entrepreneur support do we need? So all of those things are baked in. We've come out with a vision, but basically our vision is that our tourism will flourish with collaborative community leadership and participation, offering experiential and educational visitor experiences that honor, preserve, and protect our culture and lands of our people, while fostering economic growth, autonomy, and well-being. We found out the tourism industry in our state is $8.6 billion, of which our tribes are not participating at all. And to go what you've already heard, there's a thirst and hunger to learn about our folks and our culture. And we need to do that in a respectful, authentic way, in a responsible way. So that is what we're up to. We have 6 goals that we're going to be executing against. And so I can't wait to come back, Sherry. I don't think I've missed a conference since 2019 to come back and share what our ultimate results are, because this has been an exciting journey and we're progressing and moving forward every day. But it was all from that first 2019 conference, which I believe this picture is from that conference. I remember those
I
folks being
believe
on
it is
stage.
too.
It is.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
data,
mean,
yeah.
I was just gonna say, I think that it's just so amazing how this conference can just spur ideas and spur that inspiration to go back and really make an impact for your communities. And so I love the stories both you and Joe shared with us today. I hope you'll hang on for some potential questions here in just a minute. So I just wanted to remind everybody, if you have questions, please put them in the chat and we'll address those here in just a minute. I want to go to the next topic, and Sierra is going to share with you briefly about the conference app, and then we'll go over any questions.
Yeah, just real quick, in preparation for AITC, it's best if you download the Whova app well ahead of time and get all situated on there. In the Whova app, you can personalize your agenda, you can get notifications and updates, reminders of upcoming things to prepare yourself for, connect with other attendees so you can go in and see who's all attending and maybe start planning some on-site business meetings or lunch dates, or however you may best network. You can utilize the app there. Go ahead and go to the next slide, please. And you will receive that link to get the app and find our event once you've registered. So it's only for those who have registered. If you haven't registered yet, be sure to do so you can get in here. Here's some snapshots of what the app looks like. Of course, you can see the announcements and reminders, attendee check-in, and it shows some of my backdoor information there as well as one of the organizers. In the middle screenshot, you can see the full agenda. You can break it up by the different days. And I love the feature that you can add it to your agenda. So you can really go through and scope out the different sessions and you're not having to read through the program on site. You can also read the speaker bios and see their headshots. So if you're like, oh, I want to meet with David, I don't really know what he looks like, but now you can see who he is, where to find him, and when with his session. So all the information is in the app. Again, you'll get the link once you've registered to get the app, to get access to our event on the Whova app. So that's all I have, Sherry. Back to you.
Great, thanks, Sierra. Appreciate that. I know the app has gotten really popular over the last few years. We had a ton of engagement last year. And I do know, correct me if I'm wrong, Sierra, that we're going to have some gamification. People are already, the ones that are registered, I saw them corresponding and sending out their welcomes, introductions to everybody on the app. So if you haven't registered yet, please get registered so you can download that app and get connected and engaged with conference attendees even before the conference. So this is the portion of the program where we're going to take any questions that you might have. And let's see. Oh, Lorraine mentions that we should talk a little bit about the first timers orientation. We did this for the first time last year, and it happens, I believe, on Monday, where we're due right before the evening reception, the welcome reception, do a quick 30 minutes, welcome our first timers. And I believe, Sherry, you looked at the registrations, and we have about half that have registered so far that are new, that are coming to the conference. So that's really exciting that we're attracting so many newcomers to our conference this year. Are there any questions out there for us? Well, we have a question, right, Sierra? We have our final poll for today. We wanted to find out how many of you are registered. Are you registered? You haven't registered yet? You won't be attending, or you're still undecided? hopefully after this webinar, you're not undecided anymore that you're coming. Okay. Want to show us those results, Sarah? Ooh, about 61% have already registered. The 11% haven't registered yet. 11% won't be attending. So we really need to get those 28%, the undecided and the haven't registered. So hopefully we've answered a lot of your questions today. I think we might have answered them so well, there might not even be. Oh, wait, here is a question. As a first timer, is there a dress code for some of the events such as the gala? You know, it's funny, we were just talking about that. We're going to be sending out another newsletter really soon here talking about attire. But for the gala, it's not quite semi-formal. It's more of cocktail attire. So that kind of gives you an idea. And then also our theme this year is Mardi Gras, kind of fitting since we're going to be in Louisiana. So, you know, be thinking that purple, green, gold, and just having a really great time at Mardi Gras. All right. Any other questions? No burning questions. We answered everybody's questions. All right. Well, well, let's see. Oh, Sarah can't wait to see you all there. Neither can we. We really appreciate your time. It looks like we're right at time, 1 minute after. So I just want to thank everybody again for joining today. We hope to meet you. We hope to see you at this year's American Indigenous Tourism Conference. Thank you.